That's the form that he showed on Dana White's Contender Series when he won.
I try to be the force to impose in here and make these guys worry about me, so.
Zachary Reese! Come through with shining colors as the underdog tonight when the fight closed.
But I'm glad I'm not jumping off tonight. I'm probably going to OD on some bourbon.
Punahele Soriano!
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered.
Please tell me that's on video.
I've never been happier. I'm made for a fucking podcast. That's dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered. Daddy and Matt here today. We're going to be talking to two really impressive winners from Saturday night's card in Louisville. Zachary Reese, who had a tremendous, he's never been out of the first round. Even in his loss, he's 7-1, never left the first round. Punahele Soriano, a devastating debut at welterweight. He looked unbelievable against Miguel Baez. So what a really a couple of great fights. I'm sure you saw the card, Matt. What'd you think?
The whole card in general?
Yeah. Let's start. Well, you know what? Maybe we could talk. You want to bring in Zach Taylor and talk to him first?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask what you thought about that stoppage by Jason Herzog.
And I want to talk about Dominic Reyes later because you got to feel Dominic Reyes.
I was so happy for him, man. I really, because he's a nice guy, and it was like 4 straight losses. Bring in Zachary. That'd be great. I'm very happy he won that fight.
This is his first time in here on the show.
Zach, yeah. I think he's only had 2 UFC fights. Oh, there he is. Hey, Zach, how you doing?
Hey, Jim, how's it going?
Good,
How
buddy.
are you, Zach? Nice to meet you, man.
I'm good, Matt. Thank you guys for having me on.
Congrats. What an amazing fucking knockout that was. You've never been out of the first round. I can't get over it. 7-1, right?
Yes, sir. 7-1, all first round finishes. So, yeah, super stoked, man. I can't say I plan on them going that way, but that's how they've been going. So,
Shoot, man, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
How did you first? First, congrats. Did I even say congrats? That was great.
thank you, bro.
Amazing. Now, how'd you first get involved? What got you on the path of the martial arts? What'd you start with? What discipline?
I wish I had like a cool backstory, like a superhero backstory or anything. But man, I just, I've been watching UFC since the first one was BJ Penn when he fought Diego Sanchez, and I think Forrest and Anderson. That was like the first pay-per-view I'd watched live.
Wow. Yeah.
And
is that Philadelphia?
Maybe, I don't know. I just remember being so upset that Forrest Griffin got knocked out and then ran out of the cage. But
yeah.
But yeah, just watching YouTube videos, man. I thought it was cool, and so yeah, here we are.
Were you training? Sorry, Matt. Were you training at the time at all, or no?
No. I mean, I've trained in a lot of gyms. So I'm from a small town called Shiner, Texas. We only have 2,000 people. We got 1 stoplight, and so I would drive. I mean, I started training before I even drove. So my mom would drive me an hour after school, and we'd train and then come back. And I've trained pretty much all around South Central Texas, but I'm now a War Training Center. I've been with those guys for the last 3.5 years. And it's a great room full of a lot of fighters, and we got a couple UFC guys. So yeah.
Now, people from your small hometown, are they surprised with your career choice?
A little bit, yeah. I think that older generation, they're like, there's definitely easier ways to make money for sure. But yeah, the whole town has my back, man. It's so awesome. Shiner's a great little town. Just a small town America. Everyone's works super hard. It's we're the cleanest little city in Texas. That's what we say. So.
And did you really watch no tape on Marquez?
None. I mean, I'd seen his highlight, when he head kicked Phil Halls, and then I remember him when he choked out Sam Alvey, but no, I watched no tape on him. Is
that typical of the way you did you just not like to watch tape, or did it just not work out this time where you did?
I mean, I feel like sometimes when guys watch tape, you get kind of lost in the sauce, but there's kind of a caveat to that because my coach, Adam Copley, he watches like an obsessive amount of tape. And man, he sends me like paragraphs of like, what he's good at, what he's not good at, things we need to work, drills we need to do. And, I have to give him credit because coming up, on the regional scene, there would be fights where I'd go through like 10 opponents, and he would do a full breakdown of pretty much every opponent. So, I just trusted my coaches a lot, and just believe in what they see.
Yeah,
that's important. Some guys, they overanalyze, and if they're so worried about what he's doing, not enough what they're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yes, sir. Winners focus on winning. I believe that.
And could you watch too much tape where you start to get like you almost think the guy is better than he is if you watch too many fights? Like you don't want to get psyched out fighting somebody either. And I'm sure if you see somebody and he looks great in every fight, it's like ugh. You'd rather just have somebody fucking watch somebody just looking great in 8 fights, 10 fights.
Go watch his lowlights. You know what I mean? Not the highlights.
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing when you're not fighting now? Are you a married guy or?
Yes, sir. I'm married. I've been with my wife. We've been married like 4 years, but we've been together since high school. We were 17.
Oh, wow.
So, man, she's been through it all. We have 2 little girls, and it's funny because when I first turned pro and even my last amateur fights, we're in Texas. We would drive to Arkansas. It was like 9 hours. So she would actually, I had an extra spot in my corner. So she would be in my corner, and man, she actually hold pads pretty good. We've been together so long, and I always cut weight with her. It's funny, I don't cut weight with any of my coaches. Every weight cut I do with my wife, and
oh wow,
yeah, we got it down. So
you got a system down.
We got it down. Her whole job's to make sure, she's my little assistant. Hey, can you please get me this? Can you please get me that? And make sure I don't pass out in the bathtub.
And
that's great.
Oh, sorry, Matt. I played baseball as a kid, so you look like a baseball player for some reason. I know you did play. Were you a pitcher?
Yes, sir. Like I said, it was a small town, so we had 48 kids in my graduating class. So I was pitcher and catcher. So even though I'm lanky as shit, I pitched and caught. I was a decent baseball player. I physically kind of grew late. I was only 170 pounds when I graduated high school, 5'10". So I kind of matured after high school, but I'm definitely arrogant enough to think that like I could throw like 95 right now for sure.
And you switched stances. So did you pitch lefty or right?
Yeah, you're dead on, man. That's King Griffey Jr. was my favorite player growing up, like watching him and stuff. So yeah, I was batted left. I bat left, but I'm right-handed. So kicking from that southpaw stance is like a motion I'm just like super familiar with.
You big into watching sports or no? You follow baseball and stuff?
Baseball for sure. The Astros, we're having a little rough year, but Are you a Mets guy or a Yankees guy?
Man, when people ask me, I almost feel bad telling them that I don't watch anything. So they're like Mets or Yankees or Giants or Jets, and I'm like I watch the stuff in the cage when they fight. All I watch is the fights, and it's not just to try to be cool. I guess it'd be cool if I watched stuff with a ball too, but I never got into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I think it has to be with your parents. Like, were your parents into watching?
Oh yeah, huge baseball fan. My dad. We lived in San Diego, California for 3 years, and my dad used to take me out of school and we'd go see the Padres game. So
there you go.
Yeah,
that's what I think. A lot of it's passed down from
for sure
the son. My father didn't like any of that shit, but which is every I teach their own. Jimmy, did you grow up with it too? Or no?
I watched for years, and I obsessively baseball, football. I love basketball, and then when I started watching fighting. As the years went on, I only enjoyed, because I interviewed so many athletes. Like I've interviewed a million fighters and so many baseball players and the fighters were the nicer guys. Like the MMA fighters were always the nicest guys I talked to. The boxers were a little annoying with the sunglasses, and just the MMA guys were fucking humble. And so I started watching more and liking watching you guys fight. It's for you, like playing a team sport is so much different. Then every single thing in this moment is you. Whether you win or a loss, it's all on you. Whereas with a team, there's other factors. Do you like that better? It all kind of falling on your shoulders?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I mean, I like, I was that kid in high school. If I got took out of the game when I thought I shouldn't have, I was pissed off. So yeah, definitely. I love that it's, really just, it's all on your shoulders and it's your moment. But that's the thing too. It's weird interviewing baseball guys. I watch baseball interviews, man. Those guys are so dry and boring. I don't know if there's like a thing of like, once you make, too much money or something, you got to just give boring interviews. Like I'm ready for a Randy Savage of baseball to come out.
Yeah, I think it's because maybe with fighters, you guys have to sell differently than ball players do. Like you have to hey man, even if you're just talking and not going crazy, it's you and another guy. There's only 2 of you. So you're the one that has to talk about you and he's the one that has to talk about him. Like with a baseball team, there's just so many other ways to you know what I mean? I think that you guys are kind of your own spokespeople more. And the more people find you interesting or like you, the more you're going to fight. With baseball, it's all just numbers. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think it's Dana too, because like,
Yes.
you know, he's not going to cancel you for you know, speaking your opinion. He still believes in the Constitution. So,
That's right.
Yeah.
How's your nerves before your fight? Before any of your fights? We'll go to your first one, your very first fight. How was your nerves before walking out there?
Matt, honestly, like no nerves, like maybe a little nerves like the morning of the fight, but I swear I'm like cool. You know, people always say that they're like everybody's super nervous before their fight, and they're lying to you if they're not. Like I swear I'm cool as a cucumber, man. Like I just feel like even walking out, you know, it was so cool in Louisville. There's 20,000 people, and I was like, man, I just remember saying to myself, I was like, this shit is fucking awesome, dude. I love this. I love the crowds, dude. I honestly don't want to fight at the Apex. I want to fight in front of thousands of people every time, because I just feel like I really live in the moment. And
it feels gladiatorial.
Absolutely, Matt. Absolutely, Matt. Yeah, it sounds corny, but you know damn straight that if we were born 900 years ago, we'd be swinging a sword in front of people, or we'd be fighting in a field somewhere. So
a couple of us here would be.
You know, it's all right.
Well, I mean, we need a squire.
Yeah,
I would have a gun. I wouldn't bring a sword.
yeah.
Guns back then, Jimmy.
No, I know.
You'd have a fucking slingshot.
And let me ask you now. You have no nerves, right? You were 6-0, and then you drop one to Cody Brundage. And did you still feel the same way coming out this next time? Like that didn't shake you at all?
No, it didn't shake me at all. And you know, to be honest, there was some stuff in that last month of the fight camp that I kind of had to deal with. And I just didn't really feel sharp out there. And even then I had him in the triangle and I was like, oh, I got his ass, you know. And but you know, it's a fight game. It's a game of inches. I mean, I'm sure Matt, you could speak on that, you know, like your UFC debut didn't, you know, go great, you know, kind of.
You seen
it's
that
just
one?
Disappointing. I have, Matt, but I seen you win the title in Houston.
Thanks.
Too. So
I was hoping you'd bring up a win. Jimmy often brings up that Frank Trigg fight. But yes, the Shoney Carter debut, up until that point, the UFC never seen an attempt at an omoplata. They never seen an Ashi sweep back in 2001. I don't know why I'm getting into that. But they never seen a spinning back fist. So yeah, it didn't go great, my opening. But yeah, when you lose, it you know, it put things in perspective on on what's at stake. A good night is a good night. A bad night really blows.
Yeah. The highest highs and the fucking lowest lows. Like you're either celebrating, having a couple beers, or you fucking your mom's crying. So it's that's why this shit's so awesome, though. You know.
Yeah, you learn from it.
Oh, sorry, Matt. Not getting nervous. Were you like that when you pitched as well? Like what is your attitude when you're walking out? Like, hey, this is just going to be what it is, or how does your mind work? That's such a gift to not let nerves interfere with what you're about to do. They can sharpen people too, but to not let nerves paralyze you, you're very lucky not to have that.
True.
Yes, sir. I mean, and it's not like I was like that all the time, you know, as an amateur and stuff. I had like the typical stuff where I was kind of like overwhelmed by the moment and stuff. But, you know, I think the biggest probably turning point was my brother. My brother was killed, you know, and then 3 weeks later, me and my wife, we had our first baby. And so it was like the worst day of my life and then the best day of my life, just so close together. And it really did change me as a man, you know, and it made me realize too of how often we let, anxiety and other shit actually steal the joy from our day-to-day life, you know? And so I just try to be present in the moment. And I know, you know, when I'm an old man, I'm going to look back and I'll be like, man, those were the good old fucking days, you know, that shit was badass and this was fun. And so I think I do a good job of just being really present in the moment. And you know, I rationalize it too of like, dude, I said it before the fight, if I was fighting Julian in a Waffle House parking lot or in a freaking garage or in front of 20,000 people, it's the same shit. It's the same fight. It's the same stakes. So
I like that mentality. I like that. At the end of the day, it's a fight. When I used to get stressed too, I used to think the same shit. This guy's got a problem. He's got to face me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That's how the attitude should be, you know?
Yeah.
And when something happens like that, I know it was right before Christmas when your brother passed away, like something like that, does it almost be like, all right, well, nothing is going to hurt this bad again? Like, you know what I mean? That's almost the threshold for how bad things can get. So anything else after that is not going to be nearly as terrible as that was.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's life or death. That's like forever stuff. And yeah, for sure. And then my daughter being born, it's just, and then him not getting to see her. And there's a lot of stuff, and it never really, it never goes away. But, and also too, I had made a promise to my brother in my head that I wasn't going to let his death be something that sends me on a negative trajectory with, like alcohol or, giving up on my dreams, or just, I wasn't going to let it bring me down. I wanted it to actually, in a weird way, like motivate me, to really try to step up and be the best man I can be, the best father I can be, and the best son I can be, step up for my mom and dad. And yeah, it really did. And I know that's probably the best way I can honor his memory.
Did he? Was he an athlete too? Did he train or what did he do?
No, he wasn't an athlete, but man, he was such a sweet guy and a nice guy. But somehow he liked going out and drinking. He was like typical oil field dude. So shit, he got in a lot of fights. His nickname was Rowdy growing up because he got in so many fights. But yeah, no, he's just a good guy.
So you're sorry, go ahead, Matt.
No, I was gonna say now, after a performance like that, anybody you have your sights on now? I mean, shoot, there's so many nice matchups you could think of. I mean, shoot. But I mean, anybody
I mean, not anybody in particular right now, Matt. I want them all, to be honest. And, my goal is to get to that second UFC contract and crack that top 15. And that's, really, there's one guy I lost to as an amateur that I kind of want to earn my way back to a fight with. I'm not sure I would get it just yet, but it's Kevin Holland. I lost a decision to him when I was like 17. And, I like Kevin. I have a lot of respect for him. Yeah. I think he's cool. I've talked to him afterward. I think he's a cool ass dude, but, he's got a win over me. So, of course, I want to run that one back one day.
It's a nice name, too.
Yeah.
He's coming off a nice win.
Yeah, he's at middleweight. So,
okay. Yes.
Yeah, no,
well, look, congrats, Zach. You look great, and I was such a fan. You took no damage, so I mean, you're obviously ready to go whenever they kind of want you to, right?
Yes, sir. I was dealing with like a little like upper respiratory thing this last like 3 weeks. So I kind of want to get on some antibiotics and probably get that dealt with. I didn't want to do it before the fight because I didn't want to feel like shit in preparation for the fight. But yeah, get that healed up, and then for sure fight a couple more times by the end of the year.
Yeah. Awesome, well, look, dude. Yeah, it was fun watching you, man. And I love to see a new guy come in and do what you're doing. And eventually, obviously, the deeper in the division you go, the better the guys are. And someone's going to figure out how to get out of the first round. These guys who just know how to tie you up and drag it, and they're going to try to drag you into deep waters. I'm sure you're prepared for that. But that's going to be everybody's strategy until you've gone 2 or 3 rounds. Let's see how he does in the third round.
And that's why I went out to Thailand for my second time out there. I went to Bang Tao. I've been, training with the Hickman brothers over there, and Michael Savas has really helped me with my stand up. But just the wrestling, because guys shoot on me, guys are going to try to take me down. That's just going to be a big part of it. And that's kind of, if you look at my highlights, my striking, and then if guys do get me down, using my jiu-jitsu. But I want to, wrestling is definitely something that's a top priority for me.
Congrats on the 50K also.
Yes.
Well deserved.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, thank you.
Hard night's work. Nah,
yeah,
it is
absolutely.
You know what I always hated? Like, not that I had a ton of them, but you finish a fight in the first round, they're like, oh wow, I like to get paid for a round 3 minutes, it's 20 seconds. It's like, yeah, what about the 2 months and 20 seconds? You forgot about that 2 months into it. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
It's all the work that led up to that. So well deserved, bro. Well deserved.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, thank you.
All right,
congrats, Zach. We'll definitely talk to you again. I can't wait to see who you fight next. I mean, I'm already looking at guys in the division that I would love to see you. But again, it might take a little while because those guys typically want to fight up when they're like, I'm thinking Michelle Pajeda. Like, there's a few exciting. That would be such an exciting, explosive fight. But in time, I'm sure. I can't wait to see who you fight next.
Me too.
Thank you guys so much.
We'll talk to you again, Zach. Thank you, man.
Take care,
buddy.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay,
Thanks,
buddy.
Jim.
Be good.
Bye, guys.
That's good, man.
Yeah, he's an exciting fighter too, man. Yeah.
A Viking out there, like, I gotta jump off the boat and just,
Yeah, and Soriano, Punahele Soriano, who had a tremendous win. on Saturday night. I forget. I'm going to ask what the records are. I know that Jake was. I know it was the significant ground strikes and biggest strike differential. There might be a third one, but I'm going to ask Puna when he comes on. I want to ask him what it was because I don't know what the third record was. But he's coming off a loss, and I think that this weight switch was very good for him. Obviously, going to welterweight from dropping down as welterweight. Yeah,
first time dropping down to.
I believe so. Yeah. So Jake gave him to me. 136 significant ground strikes. It's a new single fight record for the UFC. He outlanded his opponent by plus 309. New record for a 3-round UFC bout. And I wonder. Oh no, I say Max, but Max might have set a record for punches, but not for the punch differential. And Puna outlanded his opponent 137 significant strikes, the most in UFC welterweight history. What a fucking welterweight debut! God, that was a good fight.
What did you think of the
stoppage
of Cannonier? Is that what we're talking about?
Terrible. And look, Imavov looked good and was really coming on. So it might have been 2-1 Cannonier or 2-1 Imavov. It's hard to say. And Herzog's a good ref, but that was just that last punch that hit him, dude. That last one that hit him, he was definitely rocked, but he was standing up. He was protecting himself, and the last punch landed on his glove because his hands were up. Terrible stoppage.
I agree, Jimmy. I wasn't happy with it, because he's a durable guy.
Yep.
Anybody can get their bell rung, but that doesn't mean they get you out, And it looked like he weathered the worst of it.
Yeah.
I mean, was there more coming? He was still there though. So yeah, I'm gonna say that was a little premature, but Nassourdine did look very good. And so did Jared, but it seemed like Nassourdine started picking up momentum. But he did. It's a 5-round fight, so you never know what could happen, So
yeah.
It's a little upsetting. That's a little anticlimactic there.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Matt. What sucks too? Jared's number 4, Imavov number 7, and Jared had coming off wins over Vittori and Strickland, and he's 40 years old. So like when you see a guy who's 40 who looks as good as Jared looks, he loses a fight, but to see that whole camp and that fight just taken away from him by a bad moment from the ref was very, very frustrating. And he had never been stopped at middleweight before either. And technically he shouldn't have been there. He may have lost anyway, dude. He may have gotten dropped in 30 seconds. Yeah. But he deserved the chance to fight out of that, and he objected immediately.
Yeah, it's upsetting. It is.
Yeah, especially, it's number 4. And yeah, that's a huge fight for him.
You got to be happy for Dominic Reyes.
Yes, I was.
You got to be happy for him because, to come off a loss is rough. 2 losses, 3 is ridiculous. Coming off 4 losses is, hey, man.
Hard.
Am I made for this? So he had to really just he said he believed in himself. And, he got a nice course correct. He did. He came through. What is he writing about Reyes?
He's writing about the fact that he had been off for 2 years, and he had been off for a while. And Reyes had said, "I'm not back. I'm better." But the thing, Matt, you're right. He came off 4 losses, and even just as importantly, that was after being 12-0. So what happened was like you're 12-0, and then all of a sudden that Jones loss, which I still think, and a lot of people think Reyes did win that fight. But after that, it was a decision. After that, it was 3 stoppages in a row. And maybe that's what makes you think like, wow, man, is whatever spell I had gone and I'll never get it back. So good for Dom. Great win. And by the way, he got rocked. It looked like Jacoby rocked him at one point, and you could almost see Reyes going, fuck this. And then he came out and he pushed him back up against the fence. But it looked like he got rocked at one point and then just realized I'm going to lose my 5th straight fight.
Well, listen, Jacoby was going for it, but once he heard him, and I think he heard him when his back was against the cage, and then he just stayed on his ass and in that left hand. It was really nice. Congrats to him. He needed that. He looks good mentally. He looked like a beast.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, that Raul Rosas Jr.
Yes.
What does he do when he does the? What does he do when he does the? What does he say when he wins?
Oh, I don't know.
Could you please play that for us? I need Jimmy to hear that. They're going to get when he wins a match, and he goes into the thing, and he always does the same little funny little with a voice on, and he does like a
After he lost, remember he lost that decision.
he didn't do it then.
Came back and won. It's his second straight win after this. His second straight stoppage. So congratulations to him.
Yes, congratulate, but I sound like a madman. Please, can you find the footage of what he says? Listen to this one after this. Okay. He says, I got it now. I didn't realize this, and a lot of people love this as kids. He goes, cheese whiz. Cheese whiz.
Oh, okay.
Cheese whiz.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything different?
Nah, I don't know what it was.
Let's do it again. Want me to do it again?
I believe you.
Cheese whiz.
I don't like sounds like that, but I mean,
I'm not a big fan of it either. But I think it's
he's devastating. A really good fighter, and that was really great because Tercios looked really very aggressive and just an excellent win and a bonus for him. And Bruno Ferreira against Stolfus, two elbows.
Back elbow.
The back elbow. He hit him with two, and the second one just dropped him kind of on his back, and that was on his ass, and that was it. But that was a very, very good fight while it lasted.
It's true. It was great.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, he was, and Dustin was trying to regain his senses there, but he was wobbling, and that was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially the second one. It's amazing he caught him with both those. It's a little like the way he throws them. Like, you don't see that shit coming. Well, Dustin didn't see it coming. I can relate.
Yeah.
I ran into a couple of those.
But that was the second one. The first one, I think, it definitely stunned him. But that second one, woof, that was ugly. And Carlos Prates, a great win over Charles Radke. That was like the first stoppage of the night. It was a knee to the liver, a devastating knee, and Radke dropped. And I love that Prates just walked away. Like, if you remember that, Matt, he dropped him. I mean, you could just tell. For a fighter to go down from a shot to the body and for the fight to be over, that it's probably a liver shot.
Oh, yeah. And the way he put his whole, he got that looked powerful. The way he put Jimmy, I think if he did that to you, you'd probably take flight.
I'd probably die.
Like, you'd be dead.
Or I'd shit my pants.
Why one or the other?
But I mean, like,
shit yourself.
I just think my body would go into shock. Like today when I was throwing up arm bars, I realized what my limitations are, with my feet, putting my feet in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Needs a little work. Yeah.
Puna is in the waiting room. Thank goodness. I mean,
I was going to
want to hear about your, in the new Acolyte show, you got the little, usually when you got a Jedi and a Padawan, the Padawan's like, it's a knight and it's a squire. The Padawan's like a little squire. And now the squire, this little girl alien, is just shitting all over the dude, the Jedi Knight. He's like, let's do this plan. She's like, or we could do this. She's like a little shit. Anyway, let's get Puna in.
Yep, let's bring him in. Hey, Puna, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me again.
Congrats, man.
Yeah.
Beast mode. Wrestling clinic, man. Grappling clinic. How much better does it feel? Have you ever fought at this weight class before?
I haven't been at this weight since my high school state championship.
I mean, so it never crossed your mind? I mean, I know you had success at 185, but this has to feel great for you, especially, I mean, I don't know. The other night, seeing that.
No, it felt great. Honestly, I really thought I never thought I could make the weight. When I was fighting at 85, I would show up fight week at like 188. So I'd eat like crazy foods, be full of like carbs and salts. So even the cut to 85 was tough. And I always was like, this is only 4 pounds, whatever. I'm like, why is it so hard? But
You used
when
to
I listened to
wrestle. You used to
when I
wrestle. Weren't you
listened,
used to cutting the weight?
I had never cut weight in college. I wrestled at
Inter-
197.
Interesting.
And then you decided to do it again, but to add 15 pounds, that's got to come on. And I looked at your record. And there was something like you had fought the 4 losses you took. 3 of those guys had also fought at light heavyweight. So they were probably just naturally bigger frame guys. So you must feel a difference, even though it's only, Baez is only one guy. I think he had fought at lightweight and then welterweight. So you must feel a physical difference immediately from these other guys.
100%. And like, I noticed that the first thing in training, like training is a big difference. I felt like prior to that, I was just fighting to survive every day in practice. And now I could actually work, like, I don't know, skill build.
Yeah, guys have different reactions to either going up weight or coming down a weight. Sometimes the extra weight they cut makes them tired and it's hard to get their energy. When did you know, what point during the cut or in the week lead, when did you know, like, I'm actually going to make this and this is the right move?
I knew I was going to make it the whole time. I was supremely confident I was going to make the weight, not a doubt in my mind. I just wasn't sure if it was the right move. Just like, I feel like the results, unfortunately, were going to be like what decided that. I remember backstage, I thought, frick, if I lose, I got no other, like, nowhere else to go, nothing else to try.
Yeah, you didn't just win. I mean, that was a devastating win.
Dominating. Yeah. Such a dominating performance. Now, and it opens up a lot of matchups for you in that division. Now, you looking over anybody? Yeah, I mean, you're like, man, I could go great. I mean, you used to grapple in the bigger guys. I mean, it is. I mean, I know it doesn't. It's one weight division, but it is like if you put me next to Wobby, the guy's up to his chest, and there is guys at 170 now that are at 6'5". That's another.
Yeah.
It's not like you're getting a little guys either. So
yeah, totally.
I mean, the fact that you've been in there with the bigger guys is definitely gonna just feel great for you. So are you? Is this like a breath of fresh air for your fighting career? How does it feel?
Yeah, 100%. That's probably the best way you could put it, a breath of fresh air. But I'm just trying to get better still. Like, I just want to make sure the next time I step in that octagon, I'm just like a better version of that guy.
And Baez is very, very tough. Like, I mean, you were landing really, really heavy punches, especially in the first. He was going for a knee bar and also a toe hold. How close there was one moment where you rolled and you guys kind of rolled out of it where it looked like he might have the room to do it. How bad, how deep was it in and how bad did it feel? And again, the danger with that is his face was open, which you took full advantage of.
The first one, like the ankle lock and stuff, I have no clue. I was just like, I'm just going to keep hitting him until something happens. Either my knee goes out or he goes out. And then the knee bar, I remember just like doing reverse anatomy. Like he's trying to make it straight. So if you watch in the fight, one hand is like on my shin and the other is behind my knee, just making it bend the opposite way. He's trying to make it bend.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A lot of these leg locks, they're great to use them as reversals, but especially when you do those outside ashis, outside leg locks, you really can't control that distance, man. That's why it's really to get a good bite on it. And in class, if that was in class, you might have been like, all right, you got me. But
for sure.
But did he really? I mean, did it heal? Did you feel it locked in?
It's a little
felt
really slippery. Yeah, it felt slippery for some reason.
I feel like the experts and the guys, or even the beasts like Paul Harris or whatever, ripping legs. Then the guys like Gary Tonin, Ryan Hall, guys that are just like the elitist at those legs. They could pull it off because they took thousands of legs in the training room. But everybody else, it's a real risk versus reward. I've used leg locks on the bottom, and every time I used them, it was to go from bottom to top. I tap that leg, use it as a sweep.
Yeah.
Get on top. You know what I mean? It's great if it's a payoff, but if not, that dude, not that dude. I'm sorry. Your opponent, what was his name?
Miguel Baeza.
I'm sorry.
Miguel Baeza?
Yeah, Miguel. Man, was he taking some? You gotta know when it's time to move on. Maybe that ship has sailed after the first dozen shots. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. I felt so bad. Like,
Dude,
I was
can't
hitting
really
him with
feel
some
bad.
hard ones.
He's trying to break your leg off.
Yeah.
True.
Make you feel a little better about punching him.
You set records, man. I mean, it was, I want to say, most significant ground strikes, as the biggest differential in significant strikes. And there was one more record. Do you know what the third one was?
I'm not sure.
Let me see it. We have it. Could you send that to me again, Jake? I'm an idiot, but here you go. You had 136 significant ground strikes. That's a new single fight record for a UFC bout, all across UFC. You outlanded your opponent by 309 total strikes. Another record for a 3-round UFC fight.
Nice.
And you outlanded your opponent by 137 plus 137 significant strikes, the most in welterweight history. I mean, a tremendous debut at welterweight against a guy who's really tough. I mean, most guys probably would have been put away by that, but the fact. And the ref gave him time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the ref gave him a lot of time and I thought he was going to stop it in the third, and he just he turned at the last second. He's very, very, great game guy.
It's good to know,
Fair
too.
credit. Like,
Good.
Sorry.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just going to say, right when the ref said he was about to stop it, he would just, like, start standing up. Like, fair credit to Miguel. He was tough.
And you answered a lot of questions at this new weight class. If you would have got him out of there the second round a little bit sooner, you know, they might test your, might be like question your endurance for all 3 rounds. You can't question that, man. You kept your foot on the gas the whole time. And I'll tell you, endurance did not seem to be an issue with this weight cut at all.
Yeah. That was kind of the goal. Like, every day I was writing down my goals. The intention was, like, putting the pace on him, trying to break him. And I don't know, somehow it just worked.
How's the training? I'm sorry, Jimmy. The training over at Extreme Couture. What's going on over there?
It's solid, man. It's probably like the most solid it's been since I've been there. Like, training camp was scary. Like, every day is tough. There's no easy rounds in that room. And it's just like some morning you just wake up like, crap. All right. Well, hopefully I don't get beat up today.
And then you got to spar with Sean Strickland in your face.
Yeah.
And I like when I see those videos of him in a singlet giving some break.
Yeah, me too.
I like that shit.
Funny.
Yeah, man.
Now, you also, what was the ref saying to him? Hey, that's not enough. That's not like he was doing it a little bit when you were pounding. Was that the third round he was going, I need more? Like, and when you look at the way Herzog stopped that Cannonier Imavov fight, the main event, you look at, like, God almighty. Like, that, the ref you guys had did such a better job at letting you guys fight out of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, like, for Miguel, but like, yeah, I personally rather have it had been stopped too. I was tired, but just had to
give me that ref next time. Give me that guy.
Seriously, give me Herzog.
Especially when you'll be in the hammer.
Yeah.
What are we doing now? Are you taking a week off or 2? I mean, look, you look unscathed, bro. You look good.
Yeah, my hand's a little sore. I think it's kind of swollen. I don't know if you can tell on here, but like,
look at that thing. That thing is that thing's fat.
Yeah.
No knuckles on there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The only thing worse than that's got to be Miguel's face right now. I'm only kidding. Sorry, Miguel. Hey, Miguel, I took my beatings too. But oh shit! So you're gonna put your hand in ice, and then you're gonna get back to training. What do you like to do to unwind after a fight? Because there's the high of it, and then you're on cloud 9. You like to do a little vacation. You just go easy with the training for a week. What are you doing?
Yeah, it all kind of just
You lost us. It happened.
Honestly, I feel kind of crazy to say this, and I'm not even trying to be like a straight edge goober, but like, I really want to get back to training. Like, I just feel I feel really zen when I'm there, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have fun. Like, I was like smoking and stuff in camp and just enjoying myself. So I feel like that's when I'm kind of like I'm even keeled throughout the whole thing.
Last time you were on here, you mentioned that you were tipping your toes into the old pickleball. You fuck around with that anymore or no?
I haven't played in like over a year, to be honest. I just like went full throttle into the cut, and like this fight was so do or die for me that I just absolutely didn't do any extracurriculars. It was strictly training all day, and like a madman. I really have like no outside like activities. Unfortunately, kind of sad to say.
You think pickleball could be an active rest day?
Yeah. Cody Stamen was playing it all camp, and he's got like the craziest like he moves really good, like side to side.
Oh, Cody was doing, yeah. He likes the pickleball.
Yeah.
Shit,
Cody loves it.
Jimmy, is it? It's like a less. Is it? It's like a less. It's like a smaller tennis, isn't it? Is it that type of thing?
Yeah. That's a good way to say it.
Jimmy, I see you got pickleball written all over you.
No.
Jimmy, when I think of pickleball, I don't think of Puna. I think Puna in a cage. I think about you doing pickleball.
I'm not playing pickleball. I know the cardio of pickleball. My cardio is shit. It's the worst part of me. It looks like it's exhausting.
No, you don't have to move. The like when I first started, I was playing against like I'm not calling you this, but I was playing against like these old ladies, and they'll just stand right in front of the line and like they won't move at all.
But aren't you always back and forth like that? Like,
they're good. No. They'll find it.
I like it. I think I might fuck with it. I'm not doing that with my knees.
I don't know. Not them.
I'm just doing my jujitsu. I do my jujitsu and then I do my VR. That's what I do.
Yeah.
That takes up my day. All right. Jimmy,
I can't wait to see who you fight next. I mean,
you
looked great. You looked really devastating at welterweight. This was the right move, obviously. And hopefully you heal up soon, and we'll see you fighting in a few months again. But I think this is going to be a great division for you, and there's a lot of really great fights.
Great day.
Yeah, you got any in mind?
What's that?
You got any in mind? Because I always suck when it comes to this question for me. I never know who to say.
You know what's funny?
You say.
Let me look. Let me look through the division and see who would I want
Ian Gary. Oh?
Sure.
Why not?
I said sure.
Let's see if that guy could grapple.
I'll tell you who would be an interesting fight for you too. Neil Magny. Magny would be is very tough. That'd be a really vet. What's that?
That's a vet. That's like a true vet.
He's seen everything. Magny has been through everything. Still number 12 after all these years. Sean Brady, interesting fight. There's a lot of great fights for you.
I did just beat Neil Magny's record. I think he held it previously.
Okay.
There you go. I took your record. Now I want your spot. I know you're too nice to say that. Look at Puna's a nice guy. Yeah. In the cage, he's a savage, but you can tell he's a nice guy. Hey, man, Puna, congrats again, dude.
Yeah, good talking to you again.
Fight, man. And,
thank you.
You can't ask for a better debut at welterweight. You really can't. You showed a lot.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We'll talk to you again next time you get a fight, either right before or right after, and I can't wait to see.
Yeah, please. Thank you guys so much. Love being on. Love you guys having me. Anytime.
Awesome, Puna.
Thanks, Puna. Congratulations.
Man. Congrats, bro.
Yes, sir.
Take care, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, him and Neil Magny would be a really interesting. But a lot of these guys are not going to want to fight him if he's not top 15 because he looks so good. It's like it's a chance a lot of guys, like when Strickland said, hey, I fought number 7, now I want my title. A lot of guys are not willing to do that because it is a huge risk against a guy who comes into the division. He's only had one fight at welterweight, so there's not enough on him at welterweight. You understand what I mean? Like, I just don't see guys looking forward to fighting him.
So this is what he does. He gets another fight at welterweight. He puts on a similar, if not better, performance. And then all of a sudden, you start calling some shots.
Yeah. Then you can say who you might want. Yeah.
You know, Jimmy?
I do.
So I think we're alone now.
Well, look.
Whoa. You want to get out of here?
No, I wanted to say if there are any more fights. I think we covered most of the fights that we wanted to.
The whole main card? Yes or no?
Yeah, we covered who we wanted to talk about. Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, I think we did a good job. Let me look.
I'm looking through it right now. Is there any fights that I wanted to talk about that
we talked about the whole main card?
Yeah.
You know?
We talked, Bruno Ferreira.
Well, I'll tell you, we talked about, Raul Rosas Jr.'s little, whatever he does, the little cheese whiz. But I'll tell you, his fight was very impressive because he goes for it. He's not afraid to put that foot on the gas. He trusted his gas tank. So he tries to get the guys out of there. And it looks like it's going to cost him at a point, but then all of a sudden he just keeps pouring it on, that aggression. I love it. I want him to keep fighting like that.
I also Ludovic Klein is a very. I mean, there was the main fight of the prelims against Thiago Moises. Ludovic Klein is again another really, really exciting fighter to watch. It was a unanimous decision, but man, he is just good everywhere. So that's another fight. I can't wait to see him fight again.
Me too. I got a new car.
I saw that. It was a Bronco, right?
Yeah. I had a rough week last week.
What happened? Yeah, you ran out of gas. Is that their fault or yours?
I told you about the car getting repoed because I forgot.
Yes.
And then 2 days later, so I'm in a mini. I go look. They put me in like a little mini car for a couple of days until I got my new car. So I'm in this thing, and now I didn't realize. They go look after the fact. I'm driving, and I saw the gas tank getting low. But normally you got like a. I found out that most cars got a 10-mile reserve type tank. You know what I mean? Where you get you the way you need to go. Except the minis. The minis don't have it. So I was in a mini car. So I'm driving. All of a sudden I get on the Seaford Expressway. And all of a sudden I hear tank is empty. And all of a sudden the shit fucking gets put. I'm like, what the? I pull over. And I ran out of gas. I had somebody, one of my black belt buddies, Johnny, Jedi Johnny, had to come with a thing of gas.
How long did you have to wait?
I waited a good fucking half an hour on the side of the road. Jimmy, I had a rough couple of days, but you know what I don't do? I don't complain. Do you know why? Now, a few days later, I'm in a new car, a new truck. I love it. It's stocky like me. You know, it's like, I feel like it feels like a nice little truck.
Yeah.
I like it. I never connected to the Durango. It's a nice truck. I almost felt spoiled being like, yo, I have a nice truck here, but I got out of a Tahoe. So it was almost like it felt like a downgrade, even though that does sound like a spoiled little fuck. I mean, not spoiled, but
yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? I'm almost like, why am I complaining? I got a nice truck. But now this one, there's a connection. You understand? I like it. I like it a lot. Okay.
All right. So look.
That on Wednesday. What else?
What's that?
I don't know.
We got Alex Perez coming up, on Wednesday.
Who do we have
on Wednesday? Alex Perez.
I like Alex Perez a lot.
Yeah, me too.
He's main event, isn't he?
He is on the 15th. Yeah, next Saturday.
Well, that's exciting.
Yes.
Jimmy, what else, man? We're gonna leave now. You got anything else to say to me?
Wednesday night, Fat Black Pussycat. Thank you, Idaho, and thank you, Portland. I had an amazing trip out west, and then I'm going to be in the following weekend. I'm going to be in Kentucky, in Louisville, but Lexington, and I'm also going to be in Cincinnati in 2 weeks on Friday, Saturday. So come see me, and I feel great.
I got to do 3 things right now. I've been waiting to do for the last hour.
Let me guess. Get a bucket. I know what you got to do. Get a bucket, take a shit, and then weigh it.
All right, everybody.
Is that right?
No, but you had it. It's kind of right.
Part of it's right.
3 things, but it's all the same thing. And I told you.
Oh, right. Cockapoopo duty or something?
Yeah. I'm 50. Can I just mature? Is it too late for me to mature?
Yes.
Jimmy, I'll see you in a couple of days.
All right, buddy. See you soon.
Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah, bye.